Hi, I'm Cosmo from Fishing Family UK, and I'm here at the Sticky Baits and Thinking Anglers Open Day at Fosters of Birmingham with Holness, who set a British carp record by catching two-tone in 2008. Hi Oz, thanks for agreeing to answer a few questions. What was your first fish?
Well, good morning Cosmo. I'll answer that question for you. My first fish was a perch, and that came from the River Stour in Canterbury, the deepest, darkest Kent. And that was my first fish. Lovely perch.
Mine was a perch as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think the perch is a lot of people's first fish.
Yeah.
You know, they're quite friendly, aren't they? But what a lovely fish, aren't they?
Yeah.
The old stripies.
Yeah.
Nice.
How did you get into fishing?
Well, I got into fishing, it was my granddad, he took me fishing.
Yeah.
I was around about sort of 4 years old, and we went down to that very river.
Yeah.
It was just down the road from where my granddad lived,
Yeah.
and so we used to go down there float fishing, and he'd fish the river for the roach and the dace and what have you, and I'd be desperately looking under all the landing stages looking for the perch, because they look big and fat and very impressive, aren't they? Lovely colours. The spiky dorsal comes up, so I was always into the perch, but it was my granddad that took me fishing.
Yeah, it was my family as well, because when I was 4, my dad wiped me the sweets.
Ah, yeah.
And then I really enjoyed it. I was 4 when I went first went course fishing. And 5 when I first went carp fishing.
Wow. So very similar to me then, about the same sort of age. Yeah. Good age to start. Got a lot of enthusiasm, a bit of energy as well. Brilliant.
I was going to ask what your favourite catch ever is, but after seeing your talk last night, can you tell me your favourite 5, as it must be hard to choose one?
Right, yeah. Well, I'm glad you've changed the question from 1 to 5, because it would have been very difficult to pick one. But yeah, so 5 are my favourite captures. Well, I'd say number 1 was that big old Burfield Common, because it was such a challenge and felt like such an achievement at the end of it. Then 2, obviously catching that big old mirror from Kent back in 2008 at British record, that old two-tone. Obviously that's one of the highlights of my angling, of course. 3, I'd say that big old sailing club pit mirror, the baby black mirror. You know, at mid-40s, that was a lovely old carp from a beautiful lake. So we've put him at number 3, I think. Number 4, what should we say? I'd say number 4 would be one of the old leanies from Burfield, and I'd say it'd be that old double-bellied fish, because he was the first one that I caught out of there, one of the real old stock, and I met him a few times on that journey, so we sort of felt like you sort of almost became old friends. So he was a favourite old character of mine. So he'd be number 4. I'll say number 5 would be one of those pretty fully scaled fish from down in Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the pretty fully.
Yeah.
That'd be number 5. So there's me top 5.
Did you take anyone fishing last year that hadn't been fishing before?
I didn't take anyone fishing last year that hadn't been fishing before, but I took my little godson fishing, and he doesn't get to go that often, and we certainly had never been just together on our own, and I took him carp fishing one day, and we decided rather than just do the sort of normal thing, we'd actually just go floater fishing. And we went floater fishing in the summer, and he caught his PB, which was, I think it was 26 pounds. He had a 26-pound mirror on a floater, and we also caught another couple as well during the day, so that was really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's nice to do that sort of thing, isn't it?
Do you do any other types of fishing, or do you focus on big carp?
No, I do other sorts of fishing, and I always have done. So I go fly fishing every now and again for trout. I learnt that skill many years ago. I love my pike fishing in the winter as well. I love to go fishing on the rivers for pike. and also I fish for roach and perch, and you know, I trot the rivers in the winter, especially when the lakes are frozen or it's very cold. It's nice to get out and do something a little bit active like that. I've also been sea fishing a few times. I like all aspects of fishing, just getting out angling, whether it be in the country, on a river, down at a lake or down at the coast. It's all good fun, isn't it?
What is your favourite bait?
For carp fishing?
For any fishing.
Any sort of fishing?
What bait do you often use?
Well, carp fishing, I like a fish meal boilie for my carp fishing. For general all-round fishing, I think a nice big lump of bread's hard to beat. You can catch almost any fish on a bit of bread, yeah? So you can catch your rudd and your roach, bream, tench, carp, perch, yeah, they all take it. All fish love a bit of bread, even pike. I don't know whether they like it because they want to eat it. It's just bright and they snatch at it, I think. But it's food. You can catch anything on a bit of bread.
Mine's probably a signature squid pop-up topped with a krill boilie.
Well, the krill boilie, I like a fish meal boilie. The krill's a great boilie. And those signature squids, you make them a little snowman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good rig, isn't it?
Yeah.
I bet you've caught most of your big ones on that, haven't you?
That's what I caught my PB on.
That doesn't surprise me.
What advice would you give to someone trying to catch their target carp?
Well, I'd just say keep your perseverance levels up, keep your eyes open, always watch the water at first light, check all the margins, and just keep going. Keep giving them a little bit of bait on a few spots, and don't be afraid to move around the lake. Don't sit in one spot. You know, if you think the fish are over in the far corner, go and fish for them. Sooner or later, you know, if you catch enough fish out of the lake, your target will come along. It's normally the way it happens.
Yeah. How do you stay motivated?
Because I love carp fishing. I love being in the outdoors, and I find it exciting. I've never lost that, you know, sense of being inspired by being out in the countryside and the anticipation of what might happen. And I just find that just being able to go out and sit with beautiful sunrises and sunsets and watch nature all around me, that's enough motivation for anyone, I think, you know.
What goals do you have for 2018?
2018 goals, I would say, is to get out fishing as much as I possibly can, enjoy it, enjoy the time that I spend with friends, hopefully catch a few big carp, but most of all, I think just enjoy it along the way. That's the most important thing you can do.
What does it feel like to catch a record carp?
Cool. Well, got to think back now a good, I don't know what it is, 10 years or more now, but if I can think back to that time that I netted that fish, saw how enormous it was, and we weighed it, it's just a feeling of incredible elation. You know, you're in awe of an enormous fish, and it's grown to record proportions, and yeah, so it's an incredibly intense moment, I'd say, and you know, almost like feels like the pinnacle of your angling, but it's just a giant fish. Do you know what I mean? It's grown massive. You know, it'd be like something probably about the same size as you.
Yeah.
So very, very impressive. But catching any carp's a privilege, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter how big it is. Your first one's always very special as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks for your time, Oz. Hope you keep catching ginormous carp.
So do I. Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure to meet you. Cheers.
Hi!
Who's that in the back of the bivvy?
I'm photobombing Cosmo! Yeah!
Oh.
I'm photobombing Cosmo!
Oh, who's that?
No hitching.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cosmo,
That's fine.
that was one of the most professional interviews I've ever done. Well done. I've had people that get paid to do that job that haven't done as good a job as you did.